This is my Notion time tracking dashboard, the system I use to plan, track, and review every hour of my week. I built this after realizing that most productivity dashboards look aesthetic, but they don't actually help you to manage your time. And there are some apps that are great for to-do lists, some apps that are good for time tracking, some apps for notes, etc. But I wanted one dashboard that does it all. So in this video, I'll show you how I time track manually, how to time track in Notion Calendar, my time tracking micro dashboard, the different calculate features you can use, and my move the needle page. So this here is headquarters, and I'll show you how I do time tracking in here. So what I'll do is just add a few tasks here. There's 3 columns that you'll want to fill out. We have the bucket, the project, and the minutes. So the minutes here is how long this task took. So let's say 60, 120, 90, and 120. So as you're working, you can fill out this minutes column. And I'll show you how we can view all of this data later on in this time tracking page here. But let's say we're just filling out the minutes here and we're ticking in when these tasks are completed. These task names here and this time isn't enough data to play with. So what we'll do is fill out the projects and the buckets. So here what I can do is click on the bucket that it relates to. So it could be my job, fitness, study, family and friends, career, relationship, journal, admin, or business. And of course, if you want, you can add more. So all of these are down here under my life buckets. You can click here and add another one. Let's say you have a side hustle, click there, click on new bucket. And now automatically every task that is relating to the side hustle, every note and every project that is relating to the side hustle will show up on this page. So that's how to create a new life bucket. So when you're doing these tasks, you just want to quickly label what is the bucket. So let's just say 2 of these are to do with my job. And let's say 2 of these are to do with my side hustle, just as an example. I also want to know the project. So what I can do is click here and add the project. Now right now, because this is a newly downloaded template, I don't have any projects in here. So I could add them here. Let's just call this, let's say I'm writing a book, for example, and that's for my side hustle. Or let's say that I have a report that I'm writing for my job and there's a deadline. It's due on Saturday. So I could click here on project and now select this here is to do with a report. This here is to do with the book that I'm writing. By the way, if you're into Notion aesthetics, of course, you can change these icons here. So you can either do that down here, click on this report, and let's write paper. We'll choose that one. And then for the book, I feel like a book makes sense. So these icons look a bit better. Also, by the way, you could do emojis instead. So, you could do this one here, for example. So when you're time tracking in Notion, you want to know the task name. You want to know the bucket that it's relating to. You want to know the specific project. And of course, you want to know how long it took you to do that task. Now, personally, this actually isn't how I time track. I don't actually fill out the minutes like this. Instead, what I do is click on Manage in Calendar. So these tasks here, they are actually connected to this calendar here. This here is the same information. And calendar databases in Notion like this, if you click on Manage in Calendar, you can work with this here. And this here is the Notion Calendar app. So as you can see, these tasks are now showing up here in my Notion Calendar. And what I can do is literally drag these down and say how long they will take me to do. So 11 to 1, and then let's add this one here. And this calendar here is connected to this database here. So now you can see task 3 is showing up here instead. Now what's happening is this information gets added here. So obviously you won't fill out this minutes property and use the managing calendar. You'll do one or the other. But if we click here on task 3, as you can see, it says 11 to 12. That's because this task 3 here is 11 to 12. Now to convert this information here into minutes, what we'll do is click on add property and we'll click here on formula. And I'll call this calendar, for example. So this here will be the time tracking from my calendar. And I'll put this code here in the description so you can copy and paste it. But basically what it's saying is show me the date between the end of this date, which here is 12, and the start of the date, which is 11. And show me that information in minutes. So that's all this code here is. Again, you can copy and paste this. It's in the description. For this to work, this property here, which is called date, has to have the same name here. So if you haven't called your property date, maybe you've called it day or calendar or something else, just make sure they have the same name. Otherwise, this code here won't work. And then I'll click here on done. So now, as you can see, it says 60 minutes. So all of these now will have their calendar. This is 60, this is 120, this is 60. It's picking that information automatically up from here. And if I extend task 3 here to be 11 to 1, now if I click on task 3, you could see it's 120 minutes. So that's how I automatically do time tracking in Notion Calendar. So I'll just delete these minutes properties here, as I'll use this data here instead from my Notion Calendar. And now that we have some data, hopefully you'll have more than 4 tasks, what we can do is scroll down and go to the time tracker page. So here, if we open this up, we get to see all of our time broken down into projects and buckets. We can also see the month's projects and buckets as well. Now, as you can see, our time tracking data here is not showing up. So if you filled it out manually, it will show up here. But if you use the Notion calendar, then what we can do is click on settings here and just add the property visibility of calendar. And now you can see that here. I'll do the same thing for time on projects here. And then of course we can hide the minutes and hours. And these two tabs here have changed my life. On the time on buckets, you know exactly which of these buckets here you're spending your time on. Are you spending enough time on your relationship? Are you spending enough time with family and friends? Are you spending enough time on that side hustle? How much time are you working on your job, etc.? And with this real data here, you can reassess if your time is spent on the right things. And the same idea here goes for your projects. How much time are you actually spending on this book project? How much time did you actually spend on writing the report? So that's why I recommend the time tracking page, which brings me on to point 4. So on this calendar property here, you can see this calculate shows up. And what we can do is click here and actually choose to see this data here in a variety of options. So I could click here on count, and now I know, okay, I've worked twice on writing this book project, which is kind of useful to know. But under more options here is where I think we have the most useful info. First, we could click on sum, and this here will let you know how much total time have I spent on these projects. So I've spent 180 minutes on this book. I've spent 180 minutes on this report. And obviously, the more data you have in here, the more useful it is. I've done this for well over a year, and it's helped me to understand where my real priorities are. If I say I prioritize a project, and then I can see the total sum here is very little, then I know, okay, maybe it's not actually that much of a priority. Another thing here that I like to do under more options is find out the average. So here I can see on average, I spent 90 minutes writing this book. So when I'm time blocking, what I could do here is draw in a 90-minute session. I know from this data, on average, I spend 90 minutes. So now my planning is getting better. Another useful thing to know here is what's kind of the minimum amount of time. Okay, minimum amount of time I need is 60 minutes. So let's say I'm planning out my tomorrow and I say this task here is at 10 a.m., but I want to do this book writing session here at 9:30. I know from this time tracking page, I need about 60 minutes at a minimum. Now on headquarters here, this time tracking data isn't just useful on the time tracking page, but also on the move the needle page. I'll open this up. So this page here was inspired by ideas such as the Pareto principle. The idea that 80% of the results come from 20% of the tasks that you do. So on this move the needle page here, I can see every single task that I've done. And what I can do is look at these tasks here, and if I believe, let's say this hypothetical task 2, had a really big impact on my life or on my project or on my life bucket, then what I can do here is change the importance to moved the needle. The first time I did this, I had barely any tasks labeled as move the needle. And I realized, hey, I'm wasting a lot of time on tasks that don't matter. But what will happen is after you have enough tasks that are labeled as move the needle, you know where you should spend more of your time. You should be doing more tasks similar to this hypothetical task 2. And of course, you could do the same idea for your projects here. Let's say this report here, whatever that was, happened to move the needle. Well, here under the move the needle projects, you can see this report. Okay, maybe I should spend more time in the future writing more reports like this. If you're interested in headquarters and want to download the template, there's a link in the description. Or if you're not quite ready yet and you want to see the full tour, then you can click on this video here. Thanks so much for watching. I hope this helped.